Well, welcome back everybody. So what am I working on today? This is a 3-channel hydraulic pump leveling system for an RV. It's a Power Gear, and that is the model number of it. What had happened was a customer called me about a month ago and told me that it would not raise. The pump motor would run, but it wouldn't go up. Did a few checks. Checked the wiring, back out here a little bit, checked out the wiring, didn't find anything wrong. All the, they are over here. All the valves were working, and the dump valve was also functional. So I took the motor apart, hoping, and didn't take the motor apart, I took the motor off, hoping that I would find that this piece here, the drive unit, let's see if I can't get a better shot at it, hoping that this would be, would be cracked, but it wasn't. The drive shaft that fit that was not damaged either. So that just left the pump assembly. So I had to pull the whole thing apart, and this is what I had found. When I got it apart, in here is where the two, what is this? This is a gear drive pump, or positive displacement, I think it's referred to as. But there's a bushing in here in these two holes, and I'm trying to get a good camera angle here for you. Okay, let me use my drill bit. This here is just a blind hole that the driven shaft or the undriven shaft gets hooked to, and then over on this side, the shaft that is driven by the motor gets set in. Now if you look right here, you can see there looks to be, and I really wish I can get in on this a little bit better. Anyways, there's a bushing in here, and the point I'm trying to get to is, if I can get this in frame, it had been it was being cut away by this, let me back out so we can have a view here, by this gear here sliding or falling in. Let me turn this back where we can see. It had slipped down for whatever reason deep within the bushing itself. And the way this is set up is this shaft here is almost identical. You can see this little groove cut in here, and these little guys would fit into the groove, and where is it? Here it is. The gear, you can see this little notch right here, would engage this metal piece in this groove, and that's what would hold it to allow it to turn and stay in position. For whatever reason, this one here slid down in its bore, and let me see if I can get this in frame. That little drive pin was gulling the bushing apart. Now this took a little time, and eventually this shaft assembly fell down far enough into this bore that it disengaged this little drive pin from the gear. So what we had is, I'll try to set this up, and what we had is just basically the gear was riding way up on top here above the drive pin. So you would hit the you'd hit the button, you'd hear the motor run, but it was free running, like there was zero load on it. So that's what I found. Now to combat this, I cannot get, maybe I can get some light in here, you can see that bushing a little bit better, maybe not. But I could not figure out why this piece here, this shaft, had fallen so deep within this bore. Because this shaft, and I'll back out here a little bit, as much as I can, this shaft here would engage in this shaft, and this drive shaft would engage here. But there didn't seem to be anything to set this depth, and the motor is fine. There's no end play in this shaft. So for whatever reason, the way this was designed, and maybe it was just designed that way, where this pin would ride across the top of that bushing, but for whatever reason it had cut into the bushing and cut away about maybe a 1/2 millimeter of the top of this bushing, which allowed it to disengage. So what I did was, I got a drill bit right here. You see my little micrometer. See my micrometer and my other gauge that I have. But I found a drill bit that was the equal size of this pin. I cut it must have been only about 2 millimeters long. I cut a piece off the end of this and tapered it to fill this entire groove here. Because this pin, the original pins, are much shorter than the groove, so it leaves a lot of movement or room for movement. So I put this one on, if I can even get in there so you can see it, and it fills the entire groove except for the tapered ends of the groove. So I got that pin into place, and now the gear is very, very firm on here. But I'm still not going to leave it to chance that this might slide down and tear this bushing up. So what I'm going to do is, upon assembly, I'm going to set my depth by finding a nylon bushing or something to go underneath here where it goes into the motor, so it keeps this rod extended just a little bit longer, probably a 1/2 millimeter. I don't know what I'm going to come up with, but I'll add this to the video. But I'm going to find something to take up this this additional length, so I won't get this gear dropping again and riding on this bushing, tearing it up. So that is what was causing this hydraulic unit leveling system not to work. They're quite expensive. $2,500. You can get them from cheaper. I think E-Trailer might be $1,500 or $1,800, but nonetheless, I've got about 2 hours worth of diagnosis and teardown on this. It's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to repair this pump than it will to actually replace it. So I'll get this put together. I'll show you what I did to get this adjusted correctly, so this drive gear does not fall too deep into the bushing, because the rest of the pump assembly is right over here, and this is this component that determines the volume. So I'll get this all together and I'll show you what I find. I probably should grab a tripod, but this was an impromptu video, so don't beat me up too much about the videography of it, because yeah, I can see it's a little shaky, but I just wanted to give you this in case you have run across this on your own system and are handy enough to take it apart and correct the issue. So all right, for now, I'll get back to you. Thanks. Have a good day.